So I'm going to repeat what I said because Bryant wasn't here.
I was peeing. I apologize.
It's okay. Although your computer said you were totally playing Battlegrounds Unknown.
Yeah, you were playing Battlegrounds.
No. That was, for the last 10 seconds.
Welcome to FanCast Friday. I'm your host, Nathaniel. Thank you to our new and active users tuning in right now. It's Super Bowl weekend, and we are pumped to be here with you guys. If you missed anything from our last episode, here's a quick clip.
He had a 13-15 record as a head coach, which is 46%.
I can't hate Ben McAdoo. He's just too funny looking. I'll say it.
He's just too funny.
His slick back hair and his dad glasses.
This looks like he shouldn't be near a school.
Del Rio was brought in to fix the defense. I thought that was the reason why you weren't going to like this. Spider 2, what banana?
I'm excited for who they're gonna bring in Matt Patricia.
The championship. I forgot who I played. Cody, who did I play in the finals?
Oh my god, you damn well know who you played.
I beat him in the finals.
Today, we're going to be keeping it focused on football, but putting a little twist on it. We're talking about curses. Of course, we're going to end up talking about the Madden Curse. Before I get to them, though, let's introduce ourselves.
Hey, it's Bryant.
What's up, guys? I'm Cody.
Hey guys, Mario here. Good morning.
And of course, in the background, we have
Boy Rezo.
Rezo, our stats guy, never letting us down.
I let you down all the time.
All the time.
Try to throw this man a bone. What
back.
Talking about curses, I want to bring up a few curses that I think the guys here would really appreciate, starting with our Eagles fans and the Eagles Philadelphia City Curse. There was a statue of a guy named William Penn who used to be the tallest statue or tallest thing in Philly. They ended up building another skyscraper in Philly in the 1980s, and ever since that statue went up, they didn't win a championship of any kind. Getting into Super Bowl related curses.
That curse was actually broken, Nathaniel.
It was.
Yeah, when the Comcast Center was built. So Ironworkers attached a small figurine of William Penn, and the year after they did that, the Phillies won the World Series in 2008.
Woo!
Curse lifted.
Curse lifted.
Curse was lifted. Also, another fun thing about Philly is that their teams have lost in championship finals in years of the presidential inauguration. So that's two curses.
Oh, God.
Philly.
Oh, no, but there was no inauguration this year, so you're
not
good.
This year. No, not this year.
Not this year.
We have, of course, the Super Bowl host cursed in, 40-plus Super Bowls. We have never had the city
50
hosting
plus.
50-plus Super Bowls. I'm sorry. 50-plus Super Bowls. The city that's hosted the Super Bowl has never played in the Super Bowl. That's outrageous. There was a slight chance that the Vikings could pull it off this year.
There was no chance.
I believed after that miraculous comeback.
Statistically, there was a chance.
Statistically, there was a
the
chance.
Eagles to win.
Well, I mean, I had to be rational. I let Mario make those picks. All right.
Hey, I'm the only one that picked the Vikings here. I believed.
Oh my God, that was silly of you. Moving on to my favorite, but also kind of saddest curse that I want to tell you guys about before we get into this is the Campbell's soup curse. I don't know if you guys remember, but there used to be like that Campbell's soup that they would do the commercials for, like the
Mama McNabb.
Mama McNabb, yeah, grew up on that stuff. So
How did it go again?
they would just eat the soup. And they'd be like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's Dak Prescott. Yeah, now it's Dak that does them.
Yeah. So
Look what happened to him.
So there have been some really bad things that have happened to people, and people not just the players, but people associated with the players. The worst example that I could find is Ben Roethlisberger did the Campbell's commercial one year, and then I think within a few months, his mother died at the age of 51 unexpectedly.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So it's all fun and games until you eat way too much Campbell's. We are going to be talking about the Madden Curse in a fun way. We're going to play a little game that we like to call
First to Curse.
I feel like we just
What, circus?
Yeah, I know. Because it's about to be Rezo.
Clowns.
It's about to be a circus in here.
About to get clowned on.
All right, break it down for us. How's this
Well
going to
played.
work?
All right, so it's pretty simple. We have us a series of people who were on the certain cover of a certain video game known as John Madden's NFL Football, starting from 1999 up until the present, 2018. Every player who seemed to be on this cover, in some fashion, either had a down season or were tragically injured, forced to miss time in some fashion.
Now this is every title?
Every title, yep.
Wow.
Without fail.
I, being the judge/host of this, will listen to two of you at a time bicker about which person had a worse curse year. Okay? So let's go ahead and start out.
Wait, real
with-
quick. Can we? Is Brady? Are we talking about Brady? Because technically, he hasn't. Like, he's on the 2018 one though.
You can talk about 99 to 18.
Yeah, you can talk about anyone.
We could talk about Brady. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
if you want to throw Brady in there, if you can give me a valid argument for why Tom Brady was cursed worse than one of these other guys, Super Bowl contending Tom Brady, then by all
I feel
means-
like I feel like that's loaded AF. All right, you didn't have to put Super Bowl contending Tom Brady.
Look,
Oh,
no,
hey,
you
I'm just
did. I think
trying
that's
to
a fact.
trying to throw somebody a bone to not pick Tom Brady. But if you
I'd
can
love to
do it
hear.
and you can convince me, I'd love to hear.
Oh, I dare someone.
yo, rest
So-
this is all you with the stats.
We're gonna go ahead and start out. I'm gonna pick Mr. Cody, the man, B Money, to contend against drumroll. Our stats guy, Rezo. He's joining the game. He's joining the fun because we needed 4 people for this.
Oh, I hate you guys.
He's
Well,
our
he-
first
He was,
fan.
he was our first and only choice. You want to put that
That
out?
was your last choice.
Nah, you were our first and only choice.
We tried to phone in John Madden himself. He was
Oh
busy.
my god.
What?
He was
Couldn't
he was
get through.
very busy.
creating Madden 19.
All right, Cody, heads or tails? Go.
Tails.
Wrong. Nate. Rezo, you go first.
What are you wrong? You didn't flip a coin that fast.
Oh, it happened.
It was
Wrong.
pre-flip.
Rezo, take us away. Let convince me here.
I'm gonna have to go with Madden 2010,
Okay.
where Fitzgerald, one of the first clear-cut examples of Madden Curse, generally missing a
Larry,
wide receiver.
Larry Fitzgerald wasn't affected by the curse. He was one of the few.
I'm just reading
It
this.
was
I
one
can't.
of the few.
I didn't come
He
prepared.
had a great season after being on the
Just
cover of Madden.
scroll down a teensy bit further in your article and read about Mr. Troy Polamalu, who
Oh
is
my god.
also
you're
placed
gonna
on that
give him
cover.
Troy Polamalu?
Give
That's a
him that.
quality pick.
Quality pick.
Hey, he picked Madden 10,
Oh,
Or he
and
did
somebody
that.
was affected by the curse in Madden 10.
Palomalo seemed to take the full brunt of the Madden Curse. The defensive all-star sprained his MCL in the first half of Week 1 of 2009 season and was forced to miss the next 4 games. You know what? I actually haven't heard of him since.
He retired a few years back.
That's probably why. Okay.
Man is not in the league anymore.
that's gonna be a common theme as we go down the list.
He then played in
How's
3
he
more
go
games
back?
later that season, only to injure his posture
His PCL.
Wow.
Yeah.
This guy is fine.
Steelers-
Polamalu had a rough year.
Yeah, it was not a good time.
I choose him.
All right,
He's not
How
a
do you beat
Pokemon.
that?
You don't
All
gotta
right.
like.
compelling, almost as if you were reading off in an article. Cody, why don't you go ahead and take the reins and let me know which curse was worse than Mr. Troy Polamalu?
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
go with one of the earlier Maddens. It was a good Madden.
Let me flip
I
the page.
played
here.
these all the way back. I think the first one I played was 2002. I want to say, but I'm gonna go with Madden 04.
Ooh, respectable.
Michael Vick was on the cover. So Vick missed the first 11 games of the 03 season, suffered a broken leg during a scramble in a preseason game,
It's
and the
true.
Falcons missed the playoffs that year and went 5-11. So I'm gonna go with one Michael Vick to challenge that pick.
That is a solid choice.
I feel like you wasted that on Troy Polamalu there.
Oh, there's plenty. There's
Is that what forced him into the dogfighting?
I was
is
going
that
to
what
say,
you
a
think
lot
about
of people
that?
don't know this, but 2 years later, Michael Vick was arrested for dogfighting and
I feel like most people know.
couple
Wow.
years in prison.
And then he was rewarded with another $100 million contract when he came back.
He wasn't rewarded. He earned it. He was a changed man.
He was a changed man. What was his production, Mario?
He crushed it. I don't know if you know.
Good.
He crushed it?
He crushed it. There was a night on Monday Night Football against the Redskins, and particularly against me in fantasy football, where this man put up 4 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. I was up 40 points, but that was not enough for Michael Vick. He beat me.
I feel like you're just butthurt about that. I don't feel like
Little
that
bit.
means anything. Moving on to the next round,
And
Brian.
welcome back to the game. So let's go ahead and award a point here. Cody, a really respectable choice. I appreciate that. But Troy Polamalu injured 2 different ligaments in his knee. The year that he wasn't even the only cover athlete. He took the brunt of 2 people being on a cover, while Larry Fitzgerald just being so gosh darn nice to people. Even the Madden Curse was like, okay, we can't do it to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Points go to Rezo.
Oh my god.
Cody.
Oh my
gets a
god. I can't believe that just happened.
Cody gets a little sad face for round 1. Okay. All right. Here
Rick.
comes our resident host, and always a lovable face, Mr. Neth Daniel.
Damn straight.
Will square off against Mr. Devil's Advocate himself, Mario. I don't have a middle name. Adams.
So they call me.
Everyone does. All right, Nathaniel. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Correct. You go first.
All right. I'm going to start things off with going 2003, a Mr. Marshall Faulk.
Ooh.
Respectable
Choice.
Tell me about Marshall Faulk.
So I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk, if nobody knows, he's one of the best rushers of all time. Okay. 2-time Super Bowl champion, MVP, great guy. The year after he was on the Madden cover, it was the first time since 1996 that he hadn't rushed for 1,000 yards. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. It's literally unheard of. Like at that point, like people never would have thought that would have happened. One of the best rushers of all time, not being able to break 1,000 rushing yards. Then the next season, he misses 5 games. They don't even make the playoffs. And on top of that, for the remainder of his career, he never broke 1,000 rushing yards again. So not only did this curse break him that year, it literally turned him into a shell of himself for the remainder of his career. So it's like pre-Madden Marshall Faulk, dope, getting into the Hall of Fame. Post-Madden Marshall Faulk, redshirted. And that's why he had a really bad year.
That was a great example, Nathaniel.
Great.
I
Make it to
appreciate
the Hall of Fame, though. He did make it to the Hall of Fame.
He did, but on the pre-Madden years, though, clearly.
It sounds
Well-
like to me you just picked a running back who coincidentally got old and then wasn't that good anymore. So I'm going to come back at you with a better example of the Madden Curse. Madden NFL 2009, featuring the one and only Brett Favre. Coming back out. So the cover was of Brett Favre to celebrate his long, decorated career with the, of course, Green Bay Packers. But what happened was, in a plot twist, after this cover came out, after Madden was released, Brett Favre comes back into football. He totally rejects his retirement and comes back and plays for the Jets. Now, he actually had a kind of decent season. It was definitely a big dip for him production-wise. But the biggest thing was the off-field issues that came up with this. Most notably, the whole throwing picks and Sexton dicks of Brett Favre that kind of caught on in that time. And he also really messed up his right shoulder injury he got a serious injury to his right shoulder late in the season, and it would kind of plague him for the rest of those 3 seasons until he retired again in 2011. So in your example, you picked a running back who got old. I feel like one of the best Madden stories of all time, but Brian Judge.
Hold on.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, Mario, you picked an old quarterback that happened to be old. So that argument isn't valid.
And he had to
However,
play for the Jets.
Hold on. Also, for the record,
Let the man
he
speak.
chose to retire. He didn't He didn't get hurt or anything. He opted to leave and then come back. That was his own stupidity. That's not the Madden Curse. The Madden Curse actually
He injured his shoulder. He hurt his shoulder at the end of the season.
After coming back, like I feel like the Madden Curse is voided after you literally stop playing football.
Absolutely not. There are no bylaws to a football game cover curse.
I think there should be.
I, as the judge, tell you there is not.
Oh my God!
Mario gets the point.
God damn it!
I feel like he suffered from being the curse of the New York Jets, not the Madden curse.
The Jets
with the
suck.
damn Jets, and that was that curse. He cursed himself.
All right, that's respectable. Let's head on down to the losers bracket here.
Oh God damn it,
Mister.
Which I'm not in.
Oh, you aren't. Oh man, good save, because I almost said it was a battle of the Nathaniel.
I forgot. Hold on, don't say my government name. What you doing?
I forgot that Cody got
Cody
Palomalu'd over there.
Oh my God!
All right, so Mr. Nathaniel versus Mr. Hometown Hero Cody. Cody, heads or tails?
Does it matter? Tails.
Nope, it doesn't. Nathaniel, you will be going first.
Everybody who goes first.
Take it away.
I'm gonna go first. Here we go. Hold on, I gotta pick a good one here.
You gotta come out with a banger.
I gotta come out with a banger. Yeah, this is so. Biased.
You could go with Madden 05.
No, I just finished reading that article. That was mine.
The man called dibs.
This man called dibs. All right. Here we go. My pick is the only.
No, I changed that. I want Drew Brees.
You can't change picks while I'm
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nathaniel, give me your Madden pick. You have 5 seconds.
All right, my Madden pick is Adrian Peterson. He was this man, Adrian Peterson, comes back from injuries, sets records, all that great stuff. Gets on the cover of Madden. And if you're going to talk about off-field events playing a role into what goes into a horrible Madden curse, what's worse than you missing 15 games, pretty much the entire season, because you're getting sued over disciplining your child? Now, some people might be like,
with a switch.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna put myself out there. People, I've gotten hit with a switch. Honestly, it was my fault as a child to go out there and pick the skinniest branch because I'm an idiot. All right, you need to go out there and pick a little something with some heft. Like, when they swing it, they'll get a little tired. But I digress. Anyway, so this man went from being beloved. He used to be called Purple Jesus in Minnesota to being hated. This man had to fight just to get back in the league. And he didn't even do anything on the field. He didn't even do anything on the field. He was disciplining his child. It was something between him and his baby mamas, all right, which I don't feel like the world should get into, but clearly it did. The only worse example of this I could think of is Ray Rice, and only because we saw him punch his wife in the face. The only reason why Adrian Peterson was able to get back in the league is because there was no video of him actually whooping his child. That is how bad this was. Now, let's go even further. He comes back. He's not the player that he used to be. He ends up getting traded from the Vikings. He was the face. He basically built that place after Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper left. And now you're going to take the face away from that. He not only got cursed from Madden, he got cursed by the league, had to fight to even have a job. Come on, man. Purple Jesus crucified. You got to give that one to me.
Let's find out. Cody.
I respect everything you just said, Nathaniel. But I'm going to top you with a Madden 08.
Oh.
A game that cursed 2 athletes.
Dream Team.
Okay.
Aw.
So the first athlete on the cover of the American version, Vince Young. Okay, there's a throwback name. Started off slow to the 2007 season. Injured his quadricep in week 6. Missed a game. First time he had ever missed a game due to injury. He returned, re-injured himself, and then was transitioned to a backup role the following season and was out of the league 5 years later. 5 seasons later, he was out of the league. We all remember the dip that he had. After this man being one of the most promising quarterbacks to enter the league, Vince Young. A young quarterback, not due to age, just due to injury and pure decline in performance. Now, the second player, Luis Castillo, who was on the Spanish language release of the game, also missed a significant portion of the 07 season. And he only played in 10 games that season after being sidelined by a knee injury. This game affected 2 athletes in 2 different versions of the game. Only game to have done that. Only Madden to have done that.
Wowie.
Actually,
This man
not
lost
true.
his job.
Not true, but that's okay. I respect your choice anyway. Whew.
Who won?
This is a
You
tough one.
gotta sit on it. Let him think.
I'm your best
See,
man.
That's irrelevant.
You
I
are.
just wanted to say that, just because it
I'm-
makes me so happy.
I'm the groom, so you know.
I mean, clearly you're in a better position, but still.
Oh God. I don't know. The year that Adrian Peterson was on the game, he only missed 3 games. Vince Young missed, I think, like 6 or 7 weeks, and the dude was moved to a backup after that point. Dude lost his job.
But Mike, Adrian Peterson literally couldn't he played the first game.
I mean,
of
that
the
was like
Faulk next season, and then he literally didn't have a job. He had to fight to get back in the league. At least
that was
once
like
Young had a
5
job.
years ago. That was like 5 years ago. This game came out. What are you talking about? He dominated in Minnesota for another few years after this game came out.
He didn't. He was
Points
pretty
go
good.
to Cody.
God damn it!
Hey. All right.
Champion
Here
of
we
the
go.
losers bracket. There we go.
You know
Here
what? No. I gotta say this. This right here is because I'm kicking ass in the fantasy basketball league, and Brian's fucking salty. I'm putting that shit out there.
Sorry, you
Relevant.
cheating to get players.
Ain't
Anyway,
nobody cheating.
Straight
Ain't nobody
cheating.
cheating.
Moving on. Moving on.
moving on
I'm angry.
to the winners bracket.
Now I'm angry.
Mr. Rezo, I definitely didn't read straight from an article. Rezo. I assume your first and last name are both Rezo.
He's like Madonna.
Beyonce, Pink.
Back
Oprah.
to Madamo over
Oprah.
here.
What's up?
Go ahead with Rezo.
Wait, I pick heads.
No. Rezo. Square or triangle?
Wow.
Square.
Square or triangle? What?
I didn't
Pick
pick-
circle.
That's not-
Square,
that's-
square,
I thought
square,
about it.
triangle.
Squiggle.
That's
Square.
Triangle has less sides. Thank you, Mario. You first.
oh yeah. Well, Bryant.
Good. It gives me more time to read.
Well, Bryant, since my last pick, a quarterback, is the one that got me this far, I'm gonna keep that train going. I'm gonna go Madden 2011 with Drew Brees.
Oh, I gotta read something else.
Oh, that's record.
I gotta read something else.
And the reason why I picked it is there's 2 things. So the first and foremost was because even though the season wasn't too much of a downturn, he actually threw twice as many interceptions.
Pick
Drew
City.
Brees. Pick City. He drew twice as many interceptions than he'd ever had previously before. But the main reason why I picked him is because New Orleans just came off of winning the Super Bowl. And who are they playing in the first round? They're playing the Seattle Seahawks, the first team in NFL history that made the playoffs with a losing record, actually winning their division, going 7-9. Now, a lot of people said, oh, bye week, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. What happens? Beast mode happens, makes history.
Hold my dick.
Hold my dick was that game. Seattle upsets the previous Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. If that's not the salt in the wound of the Madden curse, I don't know what is.
The greatest run of all time, in my opinion, in NFL history.
Sub 500 team ever. First sub 500 playoff team.
All right, Rezo, you've had exactly 15 seconds to read up on something. I assume that's enough time. Go ahead and give me your pick, bro.
Madden NFL 2017. Rob
Oh!
Gronkowski.
Oh, goodness.
He underwent a surgery to repair his herniated disc.
Says that with such confidence.
I'm trying to sound it out.
Herniated disc?
Yeah, he had to.
What do you have to do?
He underwent a surgery to repair his herniated disc and was placed on injured reserve on December 3rd, 2016, where he would remain for the rest of the season.
So let me get this straight. Your argument is that the Madden curse, and then you picked Rob Gronkowski of the Madden curse, who always gets injured, and then his team won the Super Bowl. And you're saying that is one of the biggest curses.
That's a good counter argument, Mario.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. The article said that.
So
The defense rests.
Mario makes an excellent point. Gronk, it's arguable if Gronk was even affected by the Madden curse because the man gets hurt every year for some length of time. I'm going to have to go ahead and give points to Mario here. Boom! So here's a question. Do we give ourselves one final round here, winner of the loser's bracket versus winner of the winner's bracket?
I mean,
good.
why not?
Why not?
Why not indeed? Cody! I'm thinking of a number.
Oh.
That's it. Go. I'm thinking of a number.
623.
Incorrect. The
That's
number
close.
was 5,691, aka Long Cox.
What?
Oh, I should have known.
Chris Long, Fletcher Cox, all of what Brady's going to be seeing on Sunday.
Oh my god.
All right. Mr. Mario Adamo, you've made it this far. You're undefeated right now.
I am.
On a
I'm going to be honest, we might have a little bit of a bias because we both root for the same football team, and I've made Cody lose my questions on purpose every round.
Collusion. Collusion.
Misunderstood
Convince
the
me,
rules.
sir, of which Madden curse in the final round, you need to go all out here, is truly the worst.
Read
Let's
from
see.
the article.
It's worked so far, right? So I'm gonna go again. Quarterback got me this far. Let's end on a quarterback. 2002, Dante Culpepper of the
Okay.
Minnesota Vikings. And the
Alright.
reason why I chose this is because Dante Culpepper, he suffered a knee injury pretty early in the season, and he was forced to miss the remainder of the 2001 season. Dante Culpepper is normally beautiful to watch quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. But the real reason why I picked this year is because this was one of the first years where people started to recognize the Madden curse. This was one of the first years where it's like, holy shit, I do not want to be on the cover of this game because it is very clear what will happen to me if I appear on this. This is one of the seasons that started it all. And not only that, but it was a lingering effect. The following year, he threw 23 interceptions to only 18 touchdowns. Again, Dante Culpepper, a prolific passer, had started to deteriorate after being on the Madden curse, and it really made history. 2002.
Quick cliff note: he had young Moss too.
He did have young Moss.
He had young Moss, and he still had more picks than touchdowns. How do you only have 18 touchdowns to young Moss? He should have had 18 touchdowns just to young Moss alone.
Excellent points,
Young
Mario.
Moss was a troubled athlete, Mario. Was
Oh.
a troubled athlete.
Cody,
This man was dope.
Cody, this is your last opportunity to get a win. To just take one home.
What do I get if I win?
Well,
You'll
first you
find
gotta
out.
win. You'll find out.
You'll find out.
Oh, great. Okay. I am going to go with Madden 12. Man, Peyton Hillis was on the
Ooh.
cover of this game. I think we all remember him. I'm
The
sure
GOAT.
he won some fantasy championships, and then I'm sure the year after he lost some as well. Rushed for 1,200 yards before he appeared on the cover. And then the subsequent year, he missed 6 games due to various injuries and only rushed for 587 yards. So Peyton Hillis would go on to play 3 more seasons and rush for just 671 more yards total in his entire career. Just fell off of a cliff. Rushed for half of the yards he did the year he got the cover. And then people just forgot who he was.
See, that was a great point, Cody. And I almost thought about Peyton Hillis, but to me, that was kind of too easy. And I know that it may seem like, oh yeah, Madden Curse destroyed his career. I will argue his career was always destroyed. He just kind of had one good year, and then it just kind of propelled him into the spotlight. But he was only going to have this one good year regardless. It's not like Peyton Hillis was going to be the next Adrian Peterson.
Could have been. You never know.
He
Until
definitely
Browns-
could have been.
until Browns
He rushed
fans
for
voted him
1,200
on the
yards.
cover.
He had a great year. Why are you going to down this man? Say that it
Because
was
before this year, he was a fullback. Like, it wasn't like he was taking the league by storm. And he had one amazing, great year. Not even amazing. He had one great year.
All
And
right.
some
There's a whole lot of respectable opinions going on here.
Thank you.
I do have a few questions though, not about the two topics that you guys picked, but the fact that nobody here picked Madden 07 when Sean Alexander this year, in this 1 year, fractured his wrist, sprained his knee, and sprained his ankle. Nobody picks this man. Donovan McNabb in 2006, a groin injury keeps him out of 8 games. The next year tears his ACL and his MCL. Okay, let's go back to Madden 2000, the second year that the game is out. Now we know the real reason why Barry Sanders retired. The man gets picked to be the cover athlete of this game. He already saw what happened last year to Garrison Hurst, broke his ankle, and he was like, no. Dude straight retired.
Oh, that was a coincidence.
Wasn't it?
Dorsey Levens, the guy who took his place, literally lost his job as a starter that year.
That's a good one.
And nobody picks these. I'm dumbfounded as
Barry
a host.
Sanders, that was too early.
First,
That was definitely too early to call it a curse.
We wanted to save some for you, bro.
Okay,
Also,
let's
you
go
wanna
back
hurt
to
your
this.
feelings?
Oh, hurt my feelings. Hurt my
Also,
feelings.
we could only choose so many. We only
For
got
real, there was. We
I
need.
can
next
I
time
can
we
only choose.
I can only read
You're
so
right,
many.
You're right, Cody. I can only choose so
And
many.
we wasted it on Peyton Hillis.
And I will not be choosing Madden 12 Peyton Hillis.
Booyah.
I will be choosing Mr. Dante Culpepper
Booyah.
because Dante Culpepper was a proven legend,
Thank you.
while Peyton Hillis was literally some guy, aka all of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
This has been
affected by
First to Cursed,
he was affected by a curse.
starring me, the host, Bryant, as the always unbiased, always fair in choosing who goes first. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you for that little bit at the end there. I thought it was just gonna be the doopa doopa doop, but
No, man.
But he added a little
That's
shot.
also truer words have never been said. Before we go, I want to go around the panel and see if anybody has some final words.
Yeah, I'll start off with a social media plug. It is episode 4 of FanCast Friday, which means we've reached the end of our first month as FanCast. We're excited to introduce our end-of-month special called Sub Day Sunday, which falls on this Super Bowl Sunday, actually, Eagles versus Patriots on February 4th. What Sub Day Sunday is a video format podcast. So we all group up together in person, and we start off with a podcast discussion, just as we have been the past few weeks with this content. And then we switch gears to recognize our listeners and also cover any progress and FanCast updates we have in store. We understand that where the fans speak is our tagline, but we haven't actually had any fans actually speak in our content. And so this is just our way to connect with our audience and get everyone on the same page so that their voices can be heard moving forward for future content. We're holding Twitter polls for listener engagement, so please, cast your votes for our most recent poll, which is Super Bowl 52 winner, Eagles or Patriots. But as always, you can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at FanCast Sports.
I love it.
I love it. So there's some football action earlier this week. Alex Smith got traded to the Redskins. And I just want to call out that this is the second time that Andy Reid has traded a 33-year-old quarterback coming off a Pro Bowl appearance to the Redskins. Never change, Andy.
That's one of those stats that you love.
Alex Smith cannot get himself enough of red and yellow. Loves it. Loves it. He looks great.
Man knows his colors.
He does.
All
right.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys with one final curse, just kind of a random one that while I was doing some research, I found the city of Atlanta, just the entire city of Atlanta, no specific reason, has only won one professional sports championship in its history, which was the 95 Braves. But other than that, the city has just struggled. Okay, the Braves, they won that 195, but they won 14 division titles in 14 years from 91 to 05.
Yeah, Chipper Jones, man.
The Chipper Jones, right? They were swept by the Yankees in their last appearance in 99. The Falcons lost both ever Super Bowl appearances. First one to John Elway in his final game in Super Bowl 33, and the other, well, we all remember last year, to the Patriots, dropping
So
that
close.
28-3 lead. So close. The Atlanta Hawks have not played in the finals, but the closest they got was in 2015 when they were swept by the Cavaliers.
That's right.
And that was the year that they were a 60-win #1 seed.
Nobody believed in
Somehow.
We knew what that team was about.
Hopes and
then
dreams.
the two Atlanta hockey teams have been sold off. The Flames and the Thrashers. And they can't keep a hockey franchise. Also, the one main notable athlete that has been affected is Michael Vick, who we talked about earlier, who was obviously arrested for dogfighting. So yeah, the city of Atlanta just has some bad juju going around. No, it's all Atlanta fans.
I love Waffle House though.
Waffle House is great. But anyway, wherever you're listening to, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you can, hit that little bell in the corner so that you know when we come out with these episodes and all our other great content. We just want you to keep informed. And remember, FanCast Sports is where the fans speak, so be heard.